Previously on the Novympia channel.
How lovely to react to my home nation today.
She's a liar.
Yes.
And a fraudster.
And coming up.
Oh, she's copying Lorraine. Lorraine's so amazing. Oh,
No,
never
we
shopping
want
at
this to
VHS again, girls.
I find you very rude. The Novympia channel is made possible by our gorgeous patrons who get access to the most unappealing crap you'll find anywhere on the whole internet.
Cue the snafu.
Is this recorded?
Welcome to another Novympia Eurovision reaction.
Yes, hi. I'm trying not to flash the camera today.
Yeah, that is barely a top. That is barely an item of clothing. Look at the state.
What is that? Transvestite of the bride?
This is Nova. My name is Olympia.
Hi.
So yeah, sometimes we are in drag, sometimes we are not. If you've
No.
never been to our channel before, then this is what you're going to get today.
We're here today to react to Serbia's Eurovision entry for 2024. We have the national final performance here. Now, I'm going to have to research this and maybe put a little thing up, but there is some shit going on at the moment, like a backlash to this selection. I don't know if it's just butthurt fans.
It is in fact just butthurt fans.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
If you go into the comments on anything regarding Serbia, there's just so much shit there, so much shit.
Oh, okay. I do have
I just want to acknowledge that is
It's
there,
happening.
but I actually am not very clued up with it, but I will do before I edit this.
I do have something of an understanding of what the song is about, so we'll talk about it afterwards. Serbia as a Eurovision country, I think it's one of the more successful Balkan countries that we have, Nova. They won on their debut year, which is such a flex.
I didn't know that was their debut year.
Molitva. You remember that one? That
Yeah,
was
of
their
course I
debut.
remember that one.
What a flex that is, I'm sorry. And I think they're generally, in my opinion, they're one of the cool kids. I think people really rally. They're one of these countries that people really kind of rally behind.
I do look for Serbia.
Yes, I think a lot of people do. They've got a great national final. We're going to just steal Alicia Michelle's pronunciation, PZE, but she calls it PZ.
I have to say we didn't watch the national final this year. I wasn't very impressed with the selection of songs, although I did like this from the first time I heard it.
It's been stronger, so we weren't super into it. But we have heard this entry, we have seen the national final performance and seen the video. So it's not a blind reaction. So if you're going to get up in arms and say, what's the point, then you can just leave right now. Let's play it. Shall we play it? Let's see what we think. Here we go. So the song is called Ramonda and the artist is Teya Dora. So the visual is not entirely unique this year, is it?
I really do like a staging package that reflects the music video and
Love
vice
it.
versa.
Whole brand.
I like consistency with the visuals, and that's what we have
I
here.
will say, though, Norway, staging-wise, at their national final, something similar to this. Slovenia might well do something similar to this. So that's already an uphill battle. But her voice is beautiful.
vocals are flawless.
There is a mystical kind of vibe to this. I like her hair. Again, if we're going to be talking about trying to separate herself, it might seem like a tiny nitpicky thing, but it's essentially Laureen's hair. She won last year. We might want to think about something different just for her to separate herself out a bit.
I love the harmonies that come in here. And builds
This
up.
song is so beautiful. I love what she's wearing. It's not overdone. It's very, very simple.
I love how it builds up and then we get this moment of this rest, almost a few bits of silence before the chorus then kicks in.
We've spoken about silence being used before, haven't we? With
so
Amanda
impactful.
Tenford used silence very effectively. This is so beautiful. I think some people might resist this because they want something party adjacent, but you can't deny it's like pouring milk and honey into your ear hole, isn't it?
I love what she's wearing. I'm trying to make sense of it.
I like it.
It's really interesting. And I like that we kind of get a second part to the chorus here with another gradual build.
There's a cinematic quality to this. The lighting is playing a nice role here. Visually, in terms of the staging, there's also elements of what Denmark are doing, possibly.
This is beautiful.
Pink coming in here. It's very... It feels a bit alien to what she's been doing before. I mean, look, her vocal, there's not going to be an issue, is it?
I love that kind of, I don't know how to describe it, the drums that have that kind of echoey reverb to them. Any song by a female artist that has this kind of dramatic drums, I'm I'm there.
I could do without the lightning. I think lightning is very overdone. It makes me think of Christian Ockman. And then the flower
This visual's beautiful.
behind her. That's memorable, that's impactful, beautiful.
I think we will be seeing that in Malmo because that is
It's
the
part of it.
part of the song and it's
So-
in the music video.
If a Serbian perhaps wants to, I don't know, let me know if I'm getting this correct. I believe Ramonda is a kind of flower. It is perhaps the flower that we see in the visual there. It's a purple lilac type flower that I think is Serbia's equivalent of, like, in the UK we have the poppy to symbolise the kind of the resilience and the kind of resurgence after war. But I think that's the idea. So when we were talking about people being up in arms about it, maybe it's because there's that kind of element to it that people aren't happy about. I don't know. But I think that's the reasoning, all kind of the intention and the meaning of the lyrics in the song. I think it is beautiful. There's no arguing that, is there?
No, we have very few ballads this year. And there's something about this that every time I hear it, like it makes me very emotional. I think it's one of very, very few songs this year. I'm struggling to think of another one that could possibly, like, if I see this in person or on the national final, like, this could get a tear from me. Absolutely, I have gotten quite misty a few times watching this.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful.
Really, really good.
Very emotional. I think she sells it, you know, more than just having an incredible vocal, because it is incredible, and she pushes it right towards the end as well, and it kind of really crescendos in this beautiful moment. I don't know, could she sell it more, perhaps?
I don't think she
in what
needs it.
she's
She
doing?
has such an intensity in her eyes when she's performing.
Mm-hmm.
I think with this, you could risk doing too much, and she does give us levels to the vocal. There is this rich deepness in the verses, and then she does give us some higher, more belty moments towards the end. I think it's just enough. I don't think she needs to over-sing it. I think you could risk overdoing this, and I think having it a little bit more reserved makes it feel more, there's more of a passion there and more of it's more captivating, I think.
Do you know what the thing is, though? We've brought this up a few times, and in trying to kind of determine what people are going to be voting for and what people are maybe going to be pushing back against, we're probably of the opinion that something that is anything remotely like what won last year is going to have a harder time. And, all right, in terms of the song, it's nothing like Tattoo. But first of all, it's female driven. It is kind of powerful, emotional, belting big with notes. And in terms of, well, certainly what she's wearing stylistically, that kind of Mad Max vibe is similar in
The leather,
vibe
it's
to what Laureen wore last year.
Earthy
The
tones.
haircut is also the same.
I think the average viewer could possibly be like, shit, it's not Lorraine.
Exactly. Yeah, because obviously this is just, there is an absolute separation from what Laureen did. But in terms of just what people are going to be picking up the phone, they might resist this and go for something else. If we look at
the fact that she is in the video, there's like the scenes of the ocean, and is she on a beach or something? But she's got this wet look hair. I do think visually this could risk being very similar to Slovenia, because Slovenia is doing the whole wet look, washed up thing, mermaid
with a rock. With a rock.
So I think although the songs are very different visually. Already, also because we've seen Raven do this once before, and she had very similar graphics on their LEDs.
They're going for the same voter.
I would really, really be mindful of separating from that.
And the thing is, so Serbia and Slovenia are in the same semi. They're not in the same half, but they're in the same semi. And they're also with Portugal, which we haven't reviewed Portugal yet, but again,
I do think
similar
there's
voter.
definitely a comparison to be made between Serbia and Portugal, although Portugal is definitely setting itself apart with the staging and the visuals.
We're not going to get into Portugal, but I do think Portugal will struggle up against this.
Yeah.
But then, that's not to say that this doesn't have its own kind of battle ahead of it.
I think it totally depends on what people want this year. Some people are going to want a party song, some people are going to want a girl bop, and this is not that. So I think the juries will definitely like this. I think they're going to see a lot to reward in this, but the televote, I don't know. Sometimes you can't easily predict what the public want. There is a lot of more upbeat party dance tracks this year, so this will stand out, but is that going to be a good thing or a bad thing? It's hard to tell.
I don't know that we're completely devoid of ballads and weepy ones at this point, now that we've got everything to say that it will stand out completely on its own. It's also in the same semi and same half of the semi as Ukraine, which is, not entirely the same, but again, it's the same kind of vibe. So so it might be the same voter. So I don't actually think this has any struggle. I think this will qualify because it is just...
I hope so.
I think it's clearly the best out of all the ones that we've spoken about. I think Ukraine obviously is going to have a lot of support behind it, but this should qualify. I think it certainly deserves to qualify. And in terms of where we're ranking this, is that what you're getting to now?
Yes.
I've put this 8th, so it's in my top 10.
Oh, I've got this 9th.
Beautiful. I think it's beautiful.
my top 10
Any
as
other
well.
year, this might have been even higher than that. But again, we've said this nigh on about 5 years now. This year is the strongest one we've had in a while. It's very, very stacked. So yes, I love this.
It really is beautiful. I love this as well.
I imagine they will pretty much just translate what's happened there onto the stage. They might throw in a few curveballs.
Like I said, I just think anything that they are doing different to bring to Malmö, they need to be conscious of making this stand on its own, away from its direct competition. I think it needs to have more of its own identity. Focus on the idea of that flower being reborn. I think there's good ideas there, just visually, thematically, colour-wise. Let's move away from the blue clouds, stormy clouds, and the wet look hair. Let's try and move away from that.
They could minimise the tack a little bit. I don't want the pink lightning. I think that's kind of tacky. And just in terms of the outfit, I don't know, maybe less kind of Mad Max apocalyptic and something. I don't know, similar vein, but we can just be a bit more thoughtful about making it look a bit less like Loreen.
Yeah. Because I like the outfit, but
and again,
I do think
we're
it's
not
very
saying it's the
very
same.
comparable to Loreen's outfit, though. The leather work and the stitching, and it's very
comparable. And we're not coming from a place of, oh, she's copying Loreen. Loreen's so amazing. Oh, I'm never shopping at VHS again, girls. I'm never shopping at VHS again.
We want this to do well.
Yeah, it deserves
really
to stand
want this
apart.
to do well.
And people are very, very superficial and straight to the point. And if they remember Loreen in their minds, they'll look at this and just go, nah, not even bothering.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with this one. What do you think about Serbia? Please get in the comments and let us know. It's gorgeous and beautiful.
What's next? We're going to do Sweden next.
Sweden is next.
At the time of filming, we now have all but one of the Eurovision entries, so we are literally just playing catch up now.
We're playing catch up. Hopefully
It's
we'll
so weird.
get a bunch of them out this week. If you've never seen us before, but you like what you heard, then consider subscribing.
Yes.
Well, why not? Well, why not? Well, why
You
not?
got this far.
Why not?
You watched the reaction. You watched
I
us
did that.
waffle on afterwards. You might as well subscribe.
Waffle. God, it was waffle.
We also have a Patreon.
Oh, we do. What's going on over there?
You can get early access to our videos. There is a Discord server with a Eurovision channel, which is very, very active.
Yes.
There's a podcast that you do every week on
and
there.
the rest.
Yes.
And the address for that will be arriving on screen just now.
What you gonna do with all that ass?
I love
Do
that.
you feel like something just came in the room and took over us? Because that was beautifully done. Beautifully done. And if anyone's keeping track of the countries that we would be happy to stand in for, you can add Serbia to the fucking list.
Sure.
Stop swearing. Language, please. There's also Twitch if you want to join us for game night, hanging out, having fun, playing games all night long. Is that how it goes? I can't remember.
Now it's like slam poetry.
Slam poetry. What does that mean?
That's what they call that, isn't it?
Slam. Isn't that's...
Oh,
Isn't that something to do with drugs, Nova?
I think so.
Slam.
Isn't that like when you get on stage and it's like blurring the lines between poetry and rap? Don't they call that
I
slam
don't know, but
poetry?
whatever that event is, I don't want to go to it.
Well, you just performed it.
And a tople dobra došlića to our newest patrons, Cyan Hall and Elfie Herbischoff.
Slam poetry. Listen to my words. Rhyming songs. I don't understand. I'm going to have to talk a bit more about slam poetry.
I'm gonna Google
like
this
slam
now.
dunk. Join the Patron. We'll do a shot of Patron.